That is a tasty, tasty beverage. Welcome back to yet another episode of Sippin With Sin, the podcast where we talk about stuff and things of stuff and everything that is important in the world and makes the world go round, or at least our little worlds go round. It's another week and another fun episode for you guys and gals out there in listening land, or if you're on YouTube in YouTube world. So we appreciate you being here. Yeah. So quick recap on my week before we introduce and do everything. My son turned 1 this past week, and that is mind-blowing to realize it's been a year of baby sin running amok. Pretty crazy. Pretty surreal, but yeah, so that's been fun. But we're also going to bring in, speaking of sons, my unofficial son, the one, the only, our co-host, Christian.
What up, everyone? It's good to be back for another episode. I'm feeling the mode today.
You're feeling what?
The mode.
The mode?
Yeah, you never watched Young Justice?
No. So are you making up shit again? Is this how we're starting this episode where we just start throwing sayings out there to try to get them to catch? Is that what we're doing?
Man, that's a whole thing in Young Justice.
Okay.
You got to do yourself a favor and watch
Surprised you weren't like, I'm feeling the mode hound or something, because last week was all about hounds with you. I don't know what your deal was with that. But welcome back, sir. Happy new episode recording day. I don't know, whatever we say. Dude, did it get you in your feels a little bit when your son turned 1?
Absolutely, man.
It's weird.
It's definitely, it's a weird feeling because when your kid turns 1, you only turn one time, obviously, and having a kid for a whole year is definitely different. It's new. It feels weird, but it also feels really good because you made it the first year, and then the sad reality sets in that life is only going to get harder from here. Like your kid's going to be 2 in a year, and then the terrible 2 set in, and then you get when they're 3. Then when they hit about 4 years old, it's pretty dope. I gotta say, when your kid's like 4 to 6 years old, it's kind of awesome. And then they start making friends in school and shit and wanting to do stuff and wanting to get into more shit, more adult stuff and all that. And you got to kind of navigate how to do what you want to do, but also get your kid to do what they need to do and a little bit of what they want to do, because you can't let them do too much, because kids always want to do shit that's not good for them. Case in point, us. So once you find a balance, it gets a little easier, but then they start talking back to you a whole lot. That just brings a whole new level of annoyance into everything. But like I said, enjoy these moments, because once he's fully 1 and he's just doing his thing and he starts walking around even more so and forming words when he's 2 and all that shit, like, it's going to be awesome, because you're going to realize that he's not a baby anymore. He's like a full person at this point. And then that is a dangerous time, because and Mrs. Sin will be in the mindset, man, I miss him being a little baby, and it's really easy to have another one. God. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Dude, him walking and like doing all the stuff he's doing now, because he's like walking great. Like we had a buddy of ours, an actually former drummer of the band I was in. He had a baby due like a couple weeks after Baby Sin, and they ended up having him the day before Baby Sin's birthday. So like the 13th of November, they had the baby. So we had his birthday and Baby Sin's this weekend, like on different days. And then the guitarist for my band also had a baby like 3-4 months after. And so all 3 of these babies were together. And to see Baby Sin is like the only one of the group walking and has so much hair. And he was like running everywhere. And I was like, oh God. And they were like, well, that's fun. I was like, yeah, just wait till this happens to you two, because it's never ending. It's the same thing over and over. But it is crazy to think he's already a year old. And looking back, I made like a little video montage looking back at like him as a baby. How much he's changed over the last year is wild. But man, it's
really
wild.
funny.
So he's officially a toddler, right? At 1?
Well, he'll technically, he's not yet. Like, he'll be a toddler more so when he's closer to being 2. But once he starts walking around like pretty well without the wobbly legs, yeah, he's a full toddler at that point.
Oh, dude, there is no wobble legs. We go. Like, he's not struggling. It's not like 4 or 5 steps and then we're like wobbling. It's like going the length of the house multiple times without any issue. Like, this dude's walking.
Love that. That's
No,
awesome. And I
no.
also know that the band members that you're mentioning and their children as well. That's awesome to see that. Like everybody's becoming an adult now. Isn't that weird?
Dude, it was okay. So all of us were here for Baby Sins, and then when we went to the drummer's, baby's birthday, it was weird seeing all these people that like years back you may have had a beer with, you may have had a drink with. We'd all be hanging out and talking and listening to music and like as a group of like friends just chilling. And everybody literally had babies. And it was so freaking weird. It's like now all of us were like, the parents are sitting here like, hey, don't touch that. Hey, put that down. Hey, play nice with this one. Or like, all of this parent stuff. And it's like, man, times have freaking changed. It's so weird. But it was cool that like everybody was kind of in the same boat, all different age groups and stuff. It was wild.
That's fair, man.
I'm old.
That's fair to say.
That's what it
Like I
means.
said, it definitely will change later on. You are lucky because you and your former bandmates, fellow friends, had your kids all around the same time, so that when they start getting a little bit older and want to get out in the world and do their own things, they'll come together more so at that point. So it'll be a little easier for everybody to hang out, and hopefully they'll have shared interests. You'll see as they get a little bit older. But if they do grow up and keep interacting with each other and have shared interests, then it'll be a lot of fun. You guys will have, pretty much what we were doing when we were all getting together and hanging out and playing fucking Xbox. Remember when you had to get together and have LAN parties for Xbox? Remember that?
I miss those days.
Yeah, dude. Just imagine you will be the new host for LAN parties and shit like that for the
Except
kids.
they won't
Whatever
be
the new
LAN. They'll just be
generation
like
of-
putting their headset on and probably just playing online.
Yeah, pretty much. The way that the world is now, kids probably won't even want to hang out anymore in person. They'll just all be online, just doing the same thing, occupying their own space.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to become a streamer, was because some of like my fondest memories growing up were playing video games with like family and friends and stuff, and like us being around each other and like laughing and like stupid stuff that would happen, and us having like the best time playing a game together or going through a story together, or like you said, LAN party, doing multiplayer stuff together. Those are some of the best times. And now I wanted to do that on like a bigger scale and just bring people in to have that kind of fun.
That's a good thing, man. I like that. That's awesome.
Because I don't know about you, but like growing up, that I used to have a blast with that. There's so many memories playing horror games together with people, like Silent Hill and stuff like that. Oh god, dude, there's so many fun memories.
Awesome, man.
Sadness. Now I'm sad.
With that being said, tell us what you've been getting into. You know how we always start this thing off after we ramble a little bit.
Yeah, we rambled a good bit. Okay, so as we like to do, start every episode, we like to kick it off by talking about what we've been watching, reading, listening to, or playing the past week. For me, I haven't watched a lot. I've watched maybe like another episode of Mike, but like I said, my son's birthday took precedent. It was very busy. Finishing getting all the Halloween stuff packed up and stored away, as well as getting everything ready for him, decorating for his party and all that stuff, and then other friends' birthdays, and it was a lot. There was a lot going on. So what I have done, though, is in the past, honestly, couple days, finally started God of War Ragnarok. I'm playing it off stream first to enjoy it and savor it, if you will, with the missus and Baby Sin. And quick note on Baby Sin, since we were talking about babies, I want you to know, Christian, the first time I turned this game on, all right, so I sit down, turn it on, menu starting up. Baby Sin's like in the living room. He's playing. He's doing his thing. He disappears to his room. He like walks off into his room. And then when he reappears, he has an old Xbox controller I gave him so he could have his own controller and leave my stuff alone. He comes out and stands beside me for me to like, he has it to play. Like he went and got his controller to play. And I was like, dude, it was so freaking adorable. I was
That's
like,
awesome, man.
And then he did it yesterday on stream. He like appeared in here with the controller again. Like no one telling him to. He just goes and digs it out of his little toy basket. And he's like, oh, we're doing this. Here's my controller. I'm playing too. But anyway, started God of War Ragnarok. So far, it's been amazing. I'm only maybe 4 hours in, 5 hours, something like that. I'm not very far at all. But I mean, it's exactly what I expected. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Very high hopes. I mean, I've seen nothing bad about it. So I'm super excited to continue the journey. I'm enjoying being able to just immerse myself in it as much as I can with a 1-year-old running around, but been loving it thus far. I do plan on streaming it eventually. But the first playthrough, I didn't want to be distracted or, whatever. I wanted to actually be able just to play it and go at my pace, check things out, not have to worry about entertaining, just to enjoy the game as a whole. But so far, that's what I've been into. He hasn't said boy. I don't know that he says boy in this one because I think the boy is a little older, so he didn't call him boy, sadly. But I've been saying boy nonstop since playing it. That's all I've been saying is boy. Other than that, I've been playing Call of Duty. I've been grinding camos, even though for some odd reason I have a latency issue, only with this game where stuff stutters and lags pretty bad. I don't know what's up with that. It sucks. In multiplayer, only that game. Other games run fine. I don't know. It is what it is. It could be Call of Duty servers. It could be something on my end. It could be something in the game files. I don't know. I've tried changing settings. Nothing's worked. Been playing that. And speaking of Call of Duty, time of recording this a few days ago, Warzone 2.0 dropped as their new Tarkov-ish game mode. DMZ has dropped. So they've dropped both of those free to play. The new Warzone 2.0 is an update on Warzone, which was a smash hit. And it has been getting crazy numbers. And I think it's been getting pretty decent reviews. I do think there's some bugs and stuff going on with it. But that's kind of how free-to-play games, there's always bugs and something breaking. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been into. Haven't watched anything. I do have some stuff I want to watch this week. Hopefully I can. We watched the most recent episode, the premiere of Yellowstone, if that counts. We did watch that, which is a great show. And this is coming from someone that generally does not get into Westerns. I guess you can consider that a Western-ish. It deals with cowboys. Does that mean it's Western? Would you classify as Western?
Yeah.
That's about as
Definitely
Western.
a new age Western.
Yeah.
Sure.
Westerns generally aren't my cup of tea. Like every now and then there'll be one, like Tombstone is a fantastic movie. There'll be something like that I really like, but it's not something like if I see, I tend to go for. This was a show I didn't think I would be super into, and it just happened to be on during a time when like stuff was, I think it was actually Christmas a couple years ago when AT&T got bombed. Do you remember that? I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago
in Nashville
in 20, because I was there for that. I wasn't like in down, but when it went off, like I definitely felt the effects of that, and we didn't have communications for several days after.
Because I remember
it was really hard.
It was
because
Christmas Day, right?
My family,
Christmas morning.
Yeah, it was Christmas morning. My family had experienced a massive loss in the family, and that was already like really, really bad, and everybody was reeling from that and trying really hard to feel some kind of Christmas spirit. And then that explosion on Christmas Day kind of capped it off. And 2020's Christmas was a shit show for us because
I remember we were, I want to say we were at the in-laws, and then we got home.
I remember we were trying to watch Wonder Woman. What was it called? 84 or whatever it is.
The second one?
Yeah, the second one. And I couldn't watch that movie for several days because there was just no internet at all. And of course we had AT&T. So when I remember finally getting internet to watch this damn movie, and I started watching the movie and it was fucking garbage. And I was like, what else is going to happen this year? This is so terrible. You had COVID's going on, a death in the family's going on, they're blowing up shit downtown, there's no internet. The one movie you want to see that's coming out for the Christmas season on HBO Max only came out. It was ass. It was just not a good time.
Yeah. Like I said, we were at the in-laws, and I think we had service and everything was fine. And then we got home, maybe, and I was like, our internet's out. Which at the time we had a different provider, and like if the wind blew a certain way, our internet went out. It was awful. And I was like, well, that's nothing new. Surprise, surprise, it's out on a holiday. And then I was like, I don't have service. And like nothing worked but DirecTV at the time. And that's when we found out about the bombing, and we're like, oh shit. And we ended up like having to drive back to the in-laws just to check on them and stuff, because we couldn't communicate with anybody. And I feel like it was out for a couple of days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was out for.
I know it was way worse in Nashville, but I think they got some kind of tiny bit of service up a few days later, or maybe it was several days later. I don't remember. It might have been a week. It was out for a while. It was super.
Yeah,
inconvenient.
I remember.
Shows how reliant we are on it. Yeah, and after that I don't remember where I was going with that because we got sidetracked on the AT&T bombing. Do you remember what we were talking about? What were we talking about?
You're telling us what you've been watching, playing, doing, and all that. You
Oh,
said you're watching
Yellowstone. Yellowstone. Wow. This is what happens when you get old and you have a kid there, listeners. But anyways, whenever that happened, Yellowstone was on and there was nothing on TV. Like, so I just kind of left it on for background, and then we watched like half an episode, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. And the missus was like, we need to stop because I want to watch this now. So then we like went and borrowed someone's Yellowstone, and while all that outage was happening, we watched like all the Yellowstones to date. And I like Kevin Costner and all. So, I mean, it's a pretty damn good show. I can't lie. Christian, I think you would even like it. It's kind of ruthless.
I probably would like it. I just haven't been able to find the time to watch anything other than what I'm watching now.
Fair enough. But that's pretty much what I've been into thus far. So I do have some news, but we're going to save that till after we hear what you've been watching or you've been doing.
So mine is a lot more of the same. I'm still playing Gotham Knights, I've been doing a whole lot of the side missions, to be honest, and that's why I haven't beat the main story yet. But I decided last night, that I was going to start really hammering in on the main story to get that kind of finished, because there's 2 games out right now that I actually want to play. One of them being God of War Ragnarok, and the other, I actually want to try to jump back into Pokemon. I think the games are Scarlet and Violet.
Are you going to play the new one?
I'm thinking I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try these new ones. I don't really know a lot of the Pokemon and stuff.
I'll say this though. I don't know. Did you play Sword and Shield, which would have been 2 back? I think.
I played Sword and Shield a little bit, but I didn't get through the whole thing.
I played it, but I didn't. I lost interest in it for some reason. The one after that, which is Arceus or something, I can't remember. We got it for Mrs. Sin to play, and then I ended up playing the shit out of that game. I really liked it, but I haven't watched anything on the new ones yet. I'm hearing that they have some issues, but I need to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I would assume that they would have issues as well. They just come out, so that makes sense. I don't
Sad
plan
that that's
to
the norm. The game comes out and you know something's going to be broken.
Until we're like well into the holiday season, so maybe around Christmas I'll get them as a gift. I'll probably like give them to my kid, for a Christmas gift, and then end up just playing it when he's not around.
That's
probably what'll happen.
That's dirty.
I mean, you're going to do a lot of that when little baby Sin gets a little older. You're going to do that a lot. You're going to live vicariously through him with the toys and all that shit.
Oh, I already do that. I play with his toys all the time.
Yo, that's like the best part of being a dad until they start realizing what you're doing and they want you to get out of their life, But anyway, with that being said, I definitely plan to get Pokemon at some point, like, around Christmas, maybe a little after Christmas. I'm not rushing to get it. I want to get God of War as well. I'm not rushing to get that either. That's why I'm just kind of playing and enjoying my time with Gotham Knights, because I feel like once I do get God of War Ragnarok, that's it. Like, I'm not going to be playing anything else. So I definitely want to get my money's worth out of Gotham Knights while I can. And I'm pretty sure as well, around the holiday season, all these games are going to go on sale. Like, we're no fools. We've been around the block a couple times. So a lot of people are going to be playing Gotham Knights around the holiday and after the holiday season's over into the beginning of next year when it's a big lull.
Is that my Christmas present from you, is Gotham Knights? So I can join you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it'll definitely be a thing where these games and stuff are going to be on sale. People are going to be playing them. Like I said,
you just agreed to get me Gotham Knights, right?
Be a lot of stuff coming out right away, so people are going to go back to the shit that's already out, and Gotham Knights is going to be there. God of War is going to be there. So you can expect a massive increase in people online playing that. What's up?
You just agreed to get me Gotham Knights, right?
What do you mean?
I said, is that my Christmas present from you, is Gotham Knights? And you said, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Oh, no, you can't say not now. You can't crawfish out of this. No, it's okay. This is what happens.
Really funny.
But yeah, I think a lot of these games, they will be marked down for like Black Fridays and stuff. So I mean, it's a time. It was always my time to like rack up on like movies and games. Was Black Friday? Go get those discounts.
Actually, speaking of Black Friday, because every year Black Friday sales come out earlier and earlier, I actually went on IGN yesterday and saw that there was a huge sale at Best Buy for 4Ks. And that same sale is going on Amazon right now. So I just bought like four movies on Amazon yesterday just because they're all super, super fucking cheap. Matter of fact, I'll even get on my Amazon and tell you what I just bought so I can look forward to some new shit coming out.
Well,
You
while
ready for
you're
that?
looking at that, I'll briefly go over some other news. It's nothing crazy. Well, I mean, it is crazy. If you are addicted to social media, I guess it's crazy. But so it's kind of been rotating around the internet, or Twitter rather, that Twitter may be shut down. It could be in its last days. And the reason is Twitter locks out staff of offices until next week. Twitter offices shut down after Elon Musk ended remote work. So pretty much, I think there was some layoffs too. I could be super wrong. And there's not enough engineers and stuff to keep it going. So a lot of people are fearing for the worst for Twitter. It's pretty crazy, like how all of it's going. It says, okay. Public comments. Owner Elon Musk continues to express confidence that Twitter will not shut down. Overnight, he said the company had hit another all-time high in Twitter usage, presumably related to the number of people tweeting about Twitter and shutting down. And people were like tweeting other platforms and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out and what goes on with that. Elon Musk already shaking up things in Twitter world. Would you be sad if Twitter shut down? Me personally, I get a lot of news and stuff through Twitter, and that's usually why I read for like some news things. But end of the day, I don't know how much I would necessarily miss another social media app if I lost it.
My honest opinion to that is if Twitter really did shut down, which I don't think that it's going to, by the
Yeah.
way, but if it really did shut down, would I be upset about it? Absolutely not. I use Twitter the least out of all the other social medias, and I know that right now the only reason why Twitter is so popular is because a lot of celebrities use Twitter because you can just quickly hop on, throw a message out there, bam, you're done. And if your account is verified or official nowadays,
Yeah, good gosh,
a lot
that's been a shit show.
yeah, a lot of people are going to follow you just because of that. And it's really good for marketing if you're already, verified essentially. So for people like me, losing Twitter is literally nothing. It's just another pedal in the water. So it means nothing to me. And this people that use Twitter that much literally just take that same Twitter information and then repost it on Facebook, repost it on Instagram, and then they make YouTube videos about it. So yeah, I don't think that the world will be. I don't think the world will be losing anything if Twitter did go away. But like I
I don't
said,
think it
Twitter is
will.
so
I think
that it's not.
it's like probably a stunt to, like I said, high usage is probably just spiking usage and like value of it.
Absolutely, man. Like if he just bought the company and laid a bunch of people off, which is what you do when you're a business mogul, right? You buy another company that's already working, that knows how to do its thing. You come in, you buy that company out, and you want to downsize because you take the work of 50 people, right? And then you give that same amount of work to 10 people, and they just do it for the same amount of pay. And then you give three of those 10 people an increase in their raise, right? You give them a raise, an increase in their pay. Once you do that, you make them happy. The people who are still doing the same job, doing the same amount of work, are still doing that stuff, and everything else works the same way. It's just less people. And then you can show your business investors and your partners and everything that you can make all of this happen with a shorter amount of money. It's the same thing that happened during like COVID. That's why you notice now a lot of restaurants have uh, uh, way less staff because they're getting the same people to do the same amount of work um, all the time, but it's just less. So they cut out the people that are serving, right? So instead of going to a restaurant and there's like 8 servers there that can sit you whenever you want, now you got 3 to 4 servers, and then a manager who's walking around all the time asking people if they're okay and if they need anything. And they do that because they want to see that steadily increase. They want to see their companies go into the black, like they do on Black Friday and all that. So it's just a business thing. I don't think the Twitter's going anywhere. I think that Elon Musk just knows how to keep making money, and he's going to keep making money until people stop giving him fucking money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it goes.
What movies did you find that you got? Did you find them?
I did. So I purchased the 4K restoration steel case of the original Ghost in the Shell. I'm
Okay.
super excited about that because I actually have the Blu-ray for Ghost in the Shell somewhere, but it may not have survived the move. That is normally like $22.99 for the 4K. It's 65% off, so I got it for $8, which is awesome. The movie that came out last year that I really enjoyed, Dune. I got that in 4K. That's also 70% off. I got it for $10.
Dang.
I
That's a
got
great
the
movie.
4K for yeah. I got the 4K for Zack Snyder's Justice League. That was also 70% off, so that's another $10. And the last but not least, certainly not least, that I got on this massive sale was another movie that was like 30 something percent off. It was The Batman that I got for also $10.
Nice.
So I'm super, super excited. And it's the steel case and everything. So like if you're into, 4Ks, hop on Amazon and get some more films. Like I also just received a couple of other movies from the sale too. I got the 4K of Halloween, the original 1978, and Halloween 2. I got the 4Ks for that with the new cases that you see with Michael on the front. It's the black case with Michael on the front, and it's like autumn in the background and
Yeah.
Haddonfield and all that. So I have the first two of that, and I will be getting Season of the Witch and Halloween 4 and 5 here pretty soon. And then I'll also get 6. Of course, I'm going to get the whole collection, and they just released in a box set. You can get H2O, Resurrection, and I forget the other one that's in there. But like I said, Halloween's my favorite franchise aside from Scream, so I'm definitely going to be getting all of these films again on 4K, and I like to complete the set, so I'll get the new ones as well.
All right. Awesome. Some nice purchases. So, before we go into pretty much our main segment of this episode, I wanted to, and I'm surprised Christian hasn't already mentioned this, but I wanted to quickly have a moment of sadness. Over this past week, the legendary actor Kevin Conroy passed away. If you don't know who that is, he is the voice of Batman from your childhood, more than likely. He did the animated series. He did The Killing Joke. He did the new Batman, Batman Beyond, Mask of Phantasm. He's done a ton. He did the Arkham series, I believe, Christian, right? The games?
That's correct.
Okay. But he essentially, if you've seen any kind of Batman anime stuff, more than likely it's Kevin Conroy. And it's super sad. I think he was 66 when he passed away. I could be wrong. But he passed away November 10th. Do what?
He was still a young guy.
Yeah. I don't even know that I saw the cause of death, but dude, super sad. Part of my childhood is gone now. And what's really weird, and I didn't tell Christian this, before he passed, like several days before, I was like, you know what? Baby Senior, almost a year. It's time we start Batman the Animated Series. So we've watched several episodes of Batman the Animated Series, and then not long after that, he passed away, and I was like, dang, that kind of hit. That sucks. But I wanted to bring that up. Sad moment. Sad to see him go. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. I'm sure Christian has some thoughts because I know that's also his childhood, and one of his favorite all-time things is Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, So here's the thing. Kevin Conroy is a fucking icon to me, and I was destroyed last Friday, a week ago today, from recording this. I was completely destroyed when he passed. Like, I know you can't see it, but I'm actually tearing up right now. That ruined my entire day. My weekend was fucked. I literally read the news and just bawled like a little baby, dude. Like I was completely fucked up by it. Kevin Conroy is the reason I know how to read. I know that's a lot. It's weird for people to hear that, but legitimately, when I was 3 years old, I saw an episode of Batman the Animated Series, and I knew at that point I was like, whatever this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the best thing I'm ever going to see in my life. And when I was, 2 and 3 years old, I was a little bit unruly, from what I hear from my grandmother anyway. And I was at a daycare, and Batman animated series came on, and I sat down and watched the entire thing, commercials and all. And my mom would subsequently, feed me more Batman things to keep me occupied and quiet and calm. And I wanted to know what Batman was saying in the little comic books she would get me that were based off the animated series, and then even Batman comics from, Legends of the Dark Knight and what have you from the current runs at that time. But because I didn't know what he was saying, I taught myself how to read so that I could understand why Batman was hitting people in the face and, all in the shadows and stuff. I really wanted to know. So Kevin Conroy, I owe him a lot for me being who I am today. I learned a lot of lessons watching the animated series. I impart a lot of those lessons on my own son. He's today. I've shown him episodes of the animated series. The Batman's not his favorite superhero, and though he may be incorrect in that thought, he likes Marvel a lot because Marvel's in the zeitgeist right now, and it's easy. And he likes robots and stuff, so Transformers and Sonic and stuff like that is what he's into. But with that being said, Kevin Conroy did pass because of intestinal cancer.
Oh, I didn't even know he had cancer.
Yeah, he definitely did. He was looking sicker and sicker over the past
Was this known that he had
5 years.
cancer?
I mean, not a whole, unless you were a huge fan like myself, not a lot of people knew that he had cancer because he didn't really just announce.
I didn't know if this was
that,
like a Chadwick Boseman kind of thing where like it happens and then people are like, oh shit, what? I didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that he was sick, and that was on purpose. So his husband confirmed, that's what it was about 4 days ago, actually. So we didn't know why he passed when he passed. You had to look into it. And like I said, I think his husband, finally opened up and said what it was. So we got that information. But Kevin Conroy, dude, like I said, he's the voice of Batman for me. He will always be the voice of Batman for me, going all the way back to I'm going to say that the best Batman film of all time, the best Batman film that ever hit theaters is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That is an animated film, and if you haven't seen it, you are doing yourself a great disservice, and I'm ashamed of you as a human being. But you need to see that film; it's fantastic. He was in so many things, and I can name half of them without even looking it up. Mask of the Phantasm, Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, Mystery of the Batwoman, Gotham Knights, Public Enemy, Batman Superman Apocalypse, Justice League Doom. There's so many things. I could keep going, actually. Like, he was in Flashpoint Paradox for a scene. He was in Assault on Arkham Asylum. He was in all the Arkham games. He was the Killing Joke, like you just said. He was in Batman versus Robin. He was the voice of Thomas Wayne in that one. And Batman and Harley Quinn, Batman... No, not Batman. Justice League versus the Fatal Five, Justice League the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, also an animated series. Like, he's been in pretty much every major Batman thing since 1992, and
that's a hell of a run as Batman, if you think about it.
Yeah, legendary generational run as the character. He also was in Static Shock, the Zeta Project, of course, Batman Beyond, Superman the Animated Series, the New Batman Adventures. Like, the list literally goes on.
I have to make a statement to be the yin to your yang. Kevin Conroy, without a doubt, is the voice of Batman. No dispute. You can't argue it, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker, to me.
That is true, yeah. He will always be the voice of the Joker.
Them two together, oh, dude, it's magical to me. As
a matter of fact, I wasn't fortunate enough to grow up on Star Wars because my grandmother didn't understand Star Wars. Therefore, I didn't have access to it. So I didn't start watching Star Wars until I was a late teenager. Like, the episode 1 came out, and then I wanted to go back, and then I didn't get the opportunity. So I saw episode 1, 2, and 3 well after they came out, and then I went back and watched all the old stuff, and I saw that Mark Hamill's breakout role. But the first thing I physically saw Mark Hamill in, was a movie that not a lot of people talk about, and that's a movie called The Guyver.
The what?
And that's The Guyver.
So The Guyver
is not Mick Guyver, The Guyver. Look
Okay.
it up if you haven't seen it. It's based off an old manga and anime, and the Guyver is this unit, this alien suit that essentially is a parasite that latches onto a host, and it gives them a suit of armor, essentially an alien suit of armor that is supposed to protect people from certain alien uh, waves of enemies and whatnot. And it's super good. It's super cheesy. I grew up watching that kind of shit, and it was awesome. And that was the first thing I ever saw Mark Hamill in. And I was like, hey, that guy sounds like the Joker. And turns out it was. So it was awesome. But with all that
I think it
said,
was reversed. I'm pretty sure I saw or like, um, obviously I'm gonna say I watched Batman the animated series before Star Wars because I don't remember watching it as a little kid. But then whenever obviously I watched like episode 1 and all that, and then went back and saw the other ones or at some point, and I always knew Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. And then it wasn't until later that I realized I saw the name and I was like, he's the Joker, and it was like a light bulb just hit, and I was like, holy hell! And then I was like, I hear it, like I can actually see this now. But yeah, legendary Joker, legendary Batman, dude, freaking sucks, man.
really does, man. Like I said, a generation of fans are all feeling the mode right now, if you will, and for good reason. Kevin Conroy not only was a fantastic actor, singer, voice actor, person, husband, he's just a good guy, dude. Like, if you had the privilege of meeting him, which I did not, if you had the privilege of meeting him, I've never heard anybody say anything shy of he is one of the best human beings ever. So the world will never sound the same with his voice no longer a part of it, and that's
This is
what I got
true.
to say about that.
And in honor of his memory, if you haven't already, go watch an animated series or an animated movie. Go watch the animated series, The Batman. Go watch Mask of Phantasm. Go watch any of those and just pay homage to the great Kevin Conroy. He will definitely be missed. But we're going to move on into our first topic and pretty much our main topic. And that is Christian Watch Halloween Ends. So we get to finally discuss. We get to discuss this movie. I don't even know. Christian, do you just want to go in? Because I know you're ready. I mean, we've kind of already briefly had my thoughts. I started trying to watch it again to get ready, and I didn't get very far. Not just busy, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to hear. I'm ready to get into this. Let's do it. You finally have seen it.
Okay. All right. So all right. I have a lot to say about Halloween Ends,
Oh God.
and I mean, you guys, the listeners. I'm assuming you guys have been listening for a little bit here. You guys know, and you heard me say it earlier today. Halloween is my top favorite horror franchise of all time. Just shy of it being Scream, because I think Scream is one of the best. It's just not my favorite. Halloween's my favorite. So I was over the moon to finally get to see the ending of this new trilogy that was made.
That
And
you
I
weren't
watched
excited
it last
about.
night. Did I what?
You weren't excited about. Or no, maybe you were excited, but you had low expectations. There we go. Let me switch it.
I had low expectations for this film because I was not a fan of Halloween Kills. And I was like, well, once you hit the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up, baby. So I felt like this was their chance to redeem all of the dumbass decisions that was made in Halloween Kills. And I gotta say, there are some decisions in this movie that were miles better than
Yeah.
Halloween Kills. So that's good. But I mean, but let's say this: the movie starts out. It's Halloween night, 2019, which is a year after the shit that just happened in the last two movies.
Yep.
Then we get introduced to this 21-year-old named Corey fucking Cunningham, and he's
Why do you
babysitting
have to
this
expletive his
shit.
name? Why you gotta hate on Corey? You ain't even started.
Yeah, dude, no, come on. Let me get into it. So he's babysitting this fucking shitbag kid named Jeremy. And that is a shitbag person name right there, Jeremy. If your name is Jeremy, you're listening to this, I apologize, but you gotta be honest. You've met another Jeremy who's really scummy, right? Like, I know you have. So anyway,
That's hateful.
he's babysitting this kid named Jeremy, and Jeremy starts off and he's kind of cool, but you realize real quick that Jeremy's a little fucking turd, bro. I hate this kid already. And I got to take this gum out of my mouth so I can say all the things I need to say correctly and you can hear me. But fucking Jeremy locks Corey in, like, I'm assuming an attic, and just leaves him in there. His parents are coming home.
Spoilers
and
ahead if you haven't
Corey's
watched the movie in over a month, by the way.
What'd you say?
I said spoilers ahead if you haven't watched the movie. It's been out over a month on Peacock and in theaters. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm about to spoil the fucking titties out of this movie. So if you haven't seen it, I don't even give a damn. Let's get into it. Corey kicks the door open, hits the kid in the fucking face, and this kid falls over the railing of the stairs and fucking eats shit in front of his parents as soon as they walk in the house. And the last thing they heard was, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And they see their son splat on the ground like a fucking chicken breast.
That was
like,
a cool.
Blah!
It was a cool intro though, because you didn't expect that to happen like that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, when you watched it, were you like, this kid's about to die?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You thought he was gonna die? I didn't really expect the kid to die. Like, I didn't really know where they were going with that. But for him to fly off the fucking second or third floor of the house and splat, I was like, oh shit, okay, that's a way to kick off the movie.
Yeah. But I want you guys to understand me when I say this. This story that I just explained to you is what we're following for about the first 40 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
No Michael, no more kills. We're watching this fucking kid. Listen to me. I want you guys to hear me and hear how I feel in my voice. We follow Corey Cunningham, a 21-year-old. He gets convicted of manslaughter. He gets off because it was an accident. And then we cut to years later now. So he's no longer 21. He's like, 24 at this point. He's a grown-ass fucking man. And he's getting bullied by high school seniors. That's the movie that we're watching. So I had to literally pause the film last night. And I asked my fiance, I was like, what the fuck are we watching? Did we click Halloween? Because, like, Laurie's in the movie, but she's not Laurie. And what I mean by that is, after all the shit that happened to Laurie, all the hurt, all the pain, all the fucking training to be Sarah Connor, her daughter getting fucking murdered, all of this shit, she just fucking lets it all go and decides to write a goddamn memoir.
Didn't I tell you that when you asked my thoughts? Laurie is, I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why they wrote her like that.
Whoever wrote this movie, I hope you get kicked in your fucking nuts real soon. Because
so can you explain what is the reasoning for that though? Why would you do that? Why would you make the first two movies like you called her Sarah Connor? She's on a damn mission. She has practiced and worked on booby traps and all this shit to fight Michael, and now she's like more concerned about baking a damn pie and writing a book. All that she just gave up on when he's still out there. I don't understand that. That does not make sense to me. If you've waited 40 years.
No. This
why?
Bitch literally became Martha Stewart after her daughter got fucking.
But she's okay with it. She's like, he's out there somewhere. It's okay. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to write a damn book. I don't.
How fucking dare you is what I felt like watching this movie. How fucking dare you. The one thing I can say about Jamie Lee Curtis in this film that I couldn't say about the last one is she's fucking present. At least in this movie, she's in the movie, but she's like the first half of this film. So, let me just keep going. I'm going to skip around because I got a lot to say about this film, but I also don't have the fucking bandwidth in my brain to just go over it this much. But like, fucking Corey is getting bullied by high school kids, and he's an adult male at this point. He's a fully grown man. Then fucking Laurie shows up at the grocery store that he's at getting bullied, helps him out. He gets his hand cut by a fucking glass bottle of Yoo-hoo. Here's the other thing. You cannot trust a grown man who goes to buy a drink for himself, and that drink of choice is a glass bottle of chocolate milk. Fucking run. That's no. If I were to go buy a fucking glass bottle of chocolate milk for myself just because that's my favorite drink, I'm probably a serial killer, bro. Like, fucking run. You can't trust motherfuckers like that. What are you gonna go? Are you gonna go to the store and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a fucking Yoo-hoo today.
Hell
That's all I
yeah.
need. Serial killer. Can't trust you. Can't trust you.
Is that,
This
is that like
motherfucking
an
body.
FBI thing? Like a little checklist? It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, this man is 31. He bought a Yoo-hoo on November 18th. That's it.
Yeah, you
Check.
gotta watch him. You
Oh
gotta
my
fucking
God.
watch him, bro. Dude, so he buys the Yoo-hoo, gets bullied by these literal children. Lori helps him. He flats one of their tires. She takes him to the hospital to get stitched up because Allison now works at the hospital. She is a nurse, vying to be head charge nurse of the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, which is cool for the fans. We like Halloween too. It's one of my favorites, so we watch that and see the hospital again with people in it, and it's well lit. But she sees Corey and immediately wants to hop up on his dick. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, she's aggressively trying to fuck this guy. It doesn't make any sense. Her last boyfriend not only cheated on her, but also got brutally murdered by Michael. And you just want
Well,
me to
I don't know if that was actually her
that
last
she-
boyfriend because she was romantically involved or something with that cop.
That's right. I'm gonna get to that. I apologize. But her last boyfriend of age, I will say,
There we go.
got brutally murdered in front of her, right? So I was like, okay, sure. But I'm telling you, like, when you watch this film, like, I love that Allison is like a strong, dedicated female character. I love that she's going to get what she wants. But like Andy
Was she
Matichak,
in
the way
this movie
she
though?
plays Allison, the way that she plays Allison in this movie, like Allison wants that fucking dick
What
so bad.
do you think
My
she was
dude,
a strong like whatever you just said woman in this movie?
for that dick. Hell
Okay,
yeah.
for that, yes. But she makes some stupid ass decisions, and she's really
I'm gonna get there.
tunnel
I'm
vision.
gonna fucking get there. Trust me, I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
We got plenty to talk about in this bitch. So once Allison gets turned down for trying to legitimately fucking molest this guy that she just met, like literally doesn't even know his fucking name. She's trying to fuck. I was like, all right, cool, dope, whatever. She invites him to a Halloween party. He says, this bullshit's happening, blah, blah, blah. They end up going to this. He goes to the party with her because he goes home and his mom is like, geez, oh god, she's like the mom from Carrie, essentially. Like that's her archetype is in this movie. She's
Little
just
boys that
Carrie's
keep
mom.
secrets get no custard for dessert.
Yeah, like, are you fucking? This nigga's 25. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean he can't have custard? First of all, who the fuck is making custard in this day and age? And second of all, what do you mean he can't have custard because he keeps secrets? What? He pays fucking taxes. Get out of his face. Like, I was so fucking annoyed by this shit. So we get that going on. Then he decides to go to the party with fucking Allison to get away from his mom. That's another red flag right there. So we have that going on. And he's all shy and shit. She gives this motherfucker one drink. And it's a fucking like a vodka soda, right? Fucking whatever, cool. He gets one drink in him, and then he's fucking acting like he's on speed, dude. He's having a whole fucking episode like he just popped Molly, dude. He's going in. And then he goes to the bar to get another drink and meets the mother of Jeremy, the kid that he got accused of brutally murdering, and she just fucking goes off on him. You think you can just have fun after my baby's dead, you monster, you piece of fucking shit? You think you can just get out here and dance and my son's dead? Like, it was fucking intense and crazy, dude. She fucking went off on this kid. And then instead of him just like telling Allison that he needs to go home, that he can't deal with this right now, he fucking blows up on Allison. Like, I know you want my dick, you fucking bitch, but you brought me to this party, and how fucking dare you not protect me from this random woman that happened to be at this bar party? You did this, blah, blah, blah. It's like fucking weird. And she's like holding her hands out, like, what can I do to make it better? Like, I just want you to fucking love me like I love you, even though we've only known each other for 47 minutes. Like, it's fucking insane. Allison is dumber in this movie than she's ever been in the other two films. Like, she She's not Allison. She's not. Her character reminds me of what Rob Zombie did to Laurie in Halloween 2, and I already fucking despise that movie, and that's the vibe I was getting from this movie, because Allison she's supposed to be an adult in this movie as well. She's supposed to be in her mid-20s right now, right? 24, 25. She's supposed to be in that age range, but she's acting like she's fucking 14. Oh my god, I love you so much. Oh, Corey. Like, it's so stupid, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Allison is a survivor. What's happening? Then it's fucking weird. Corey, oh my god. So let me just keep going. Corey gets bullied again by these fucking high schoolers once he bails on Allison at this Halloween party. They throw this motherfucker over a bridge and then dip on his ass. And then we finally see Michael. It's a quick blink and you miss it. We see Michael walking towards Corey, and then this guy experiencing homelessness is watching all this happen, by the way. Michael fucking drags Corey into the sewers like he's a goddamn Ninja Turtle. And then we see that Michael has just been in the sewer this entire time, just like his batteries have just died. And every now and then he'll grab somebody in the sewer and kill them. And you see that because if you watch the movie again and notice, every now and then in scenes in the background, you'll see wanted posters for people who have gone missing. And these are the people that Michael has essentially kidnapped and drug into the sewers to feast on their fucking blood. So that happens. And then he chokes Corey, but doesn't kill him. But somehow, because now Michael can just all of a sudden possess motherfuckers, like, it's weird. He, like, the way that they explain it in the movie, and by the way, they don't explain it. They just have Laurie do these really long-winded fucking monologues like she did in the last film. But if you remember, a couple of people say in the movie that Corey seems infected. Like, Allison looks at his hand and says, infected. And then I think Laurie uses the term infection or infected. So he's like been infected with Michael's evil at this point. And it doesn't make any goddamn sense because we've never seen this shit before. But let me just explain to you guys this. Michael Myers in this movie is a video game character. Remember this, because I'm going to circle back around to this here in just a second. So trust me when I say he is a full-ass video game character. Like, think of God of War, think of Doom, all that shit, video game character. Here we go. Corey fucking he crawls out of the sewer, and the homeless dude just rushes him and starts talking mad shit about him and Michael and how he needs to go back in there and let Michael kill him or whatever the fuck. And then he ends up stabbing this old guy, this old homeless dude, stabs the shit out of him, then runs off, goes home. His mom gets all in his fucking face, and it's fucking weird. And she's like obviously attracted to her kid. Like, it's very, very, very strange and unhealthy. And he goes in the bathroom and like takes a sink shower, you know what I'm saying? Like a little hoe bath, just washes himself off, and then he's looking in the mirror and now he feels like a fucking badass. So we get to watch Corey ride a bike for the rest of the fucking movie. It seems like he's just riding a motorcycle, in this movie. And he goes and stalks fucking Allison, straight Michael style, behind bushes. Laurie sees this. Laurie literally bumps into him, and like an anime, she feel that he's evil now. She's like, I looked into his eyes, and the same eyes as Michael, and I was like, no, the fuck they're not, but whatever. So that's happening. Allison's telling Laurie to mind her fucking business because all of a sudden she's a shitbag. They go out for a dinner date. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is where it comes back around. They go on a dinner date, and we find out that Alice's ex is a fucking cop, and that his name is Officer Doug Laney, and that's the cameo essentially we get because last movie Halloween Kills. Remember that scene where those shitbag kids are like, "Don't fuck with the Mulaney's." Do you remember that, Sid?
Yeah.
Do you remember that shit?
Yeah.
This is one of the fucking kids that we get. This "don't fuck with the Mulaney's." This is him now. Fucking okay. Cool. This guy is like 47 years old. You mean to tell me Allison decided she wanted to date and fuck this old ass cop? She's only 20. She's got, at best, she's 25, right? At best. She was fucking this old cop and he's like addicted to her fucking vagina, and he's like all aggro and shit, and he's talking mad shit about her. Then Corey turns the fuck up on this guy. He like gets all up in his face, slaps some shit around, and punks this fucking cop out like a little bitch. So he runs back to his homeboys like, it's all good. I don't even want her anyway. Blah blah blah. I got demasculated in front of my friends. So right after that, they're having a conversation, and I'm telling you, if you listen to Corey when he's talking, his shit is all over the place. At one point, he's fucking arguing with Allison because he thinks that her grandmother is living vicariously through her, and that Allison should go on and do her own shit. And then, literally in the same breath, he says, "When I look at you, I feel like I can tell you anything." And like, I'm like, what the fuck? Is everybody in this supposed to be high schoolers? Because they're clearly in their 20s. It's fucking weird. But all the people in this movie are acting like they're fucking 14 to 15 years old. And it's really dumb. And I can't fucking stand the writing for these characters.
You didn't mention much about whenever we see Michael, he's decrepit as hell. Like this dude's struggle busting.
No. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
That's when I said the video game character shit.
Okay.
I'm getting to it. So Corey drops Allison off at home, and she's like, she doesn't say this, but she's saying this. She's like, "Hey, look, I want to slide up on that dick. Come on in this house and give me what I need." And Corey's like, "Nah, not tonight." That's essentially what happens. Like, I swear to fucking God, that's how aggressive Allison is trying to get on this guy's dick. It's insane. It's insane. Like, I like an aggressive woman. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but like, my dude, we've only known each other at this point for about 3 hours. Let's relax. Let's take a step back. Come on. So he's getting followed by Officer Stupid Ass, and Corey knows that he's getting followed. He leads this motherfucker into the sewers, tries to choke him out. It doesn't work. Then Corey slides into the fucking sewer where we see Michael, and it's actually a really, really good shot of Michael behind this guy. But because Michael is so fucking decrepit and old and mossed over, like, he can't really kill the guy. So Corey's holding him after he beats the shit out of him. Corey's holding him. He's like, "Come on, do it. Show me how it's done. Let's go." He's like pumping Michael up, essentially. Like, "Come on, Batman, you can do it." Like, it's fucking insane. Then Michael stabs this motherfucker, and I swear to God, this is where the video game shit comes in. Michael starts fucking like gyrating and like fucking like, I don't even know how to describe this shit, but he's like getting his energy back like a video game from killing this cop. Like, when he kills this cop, a fucking health crystal pops out of this dude's chest, and Michael just takes it, and now he's healed again. So he needs to keep killing people to heal himself like a video game character. It's insane. So that happens, and oh my God, dude, I can't explain to you how fucking hurt I was watching this film, because I was like, what the fuck have they done to my beloved franchise? What have they done? So this happens, and then Corey goes to the abandoned house where that kid died at the beginning to sleep on the bloodstain, mind you. It's fucking weird. Then Lori's in the house that morning, like waking Corey up. She's like, back to being regular Lori at this point all of a sudden. And she pretty much tells him like, "Hey, you need to leave Allison the fuck alone. You're infected by evil. I don't know what's going on." Then Corey drops some hard ass hints like, "You're the reason why this happened. You brought her to me. You wanted us to be, and this is the same thing you did to Michael, isn't it?" And I'm just like, what the fuck, Lori? Take this dude out right now. Kill this guy. She just fucking ninjas out of there. Like, she like goes out a window or something, and we don't see it. It's while Corey's talking, and she just fucking Batmans her way out of the house, and Corey gets all pissed off, and he tells her if he can't have Allison, nobody can have her. And it's like, bruh, this kid's gotta fucking go. So then we on Allison is at work, and she's getting passed over for a promotion because her coworker is totally fucking their boss. And that's weird because their boss is like fucking 70 years old, slick white hair, and whatever. She's a gold digger. That's her whole character motivation, which is also very strange. It doesn't make any sense. And then after that, it's Halloween now all of a sudden. And like I said, I haven't said this, but we've gotten multiple scenes where Corey is on his motorcycle driving places. Mm-hmm. It's like a whole, we've gotten this montage like several times of him just driving on this motorcycle. and I fully believed that he was just going to have Michael piggybacking on this motorcycle with him.
Have you seen that meme? I've been waiting to send it to you.
I haven't seen it.
So when I watched it, we watched it with a buddy, and I kid you not, whenever it was one of the probably the scene you're talking about with him riding the motorcycle like at night, you know, just cruising. Whenever it cut to it, my buddy beside me goes, I swear to God, if Michael is riding behind him, holding on to him, I'm gonna fucking lose it. And I started laughing, and then the meme happened, and I was like, oh my God. And it's literally Michael like holding on to Corey riding down the road, and I was like, that sums up this movie in a nutshell right there. Like, that's what this is.
It really does. It really does. It's fucking insane, dude. I don't understand why somebody thought this was a good idea. Like, it doesn't make sense. Oh my fucking God, dude. Like, I was so fucking pissed off watching this shit. And I'm going to skip through this movie because I want to just talk mad shit about it. So, fucking, okay. Laurie kills he kills the main doctor at the hospital because he brought the one bitch home that he's fucking, and he's buying her a whole bunch of shit. Corey's murdering this dude, and somehow
sloppy
this
as hell
bitch
too.
Can't hear Corey stabbing the shit out of this guy. Like, did you notice that there was no sound when Corey was stabbing the fuck out of the doctor, and she couldn't hear it? Like, that was insane to me. But as soon as she realizes that Corey's back there stabbing the guy, then all of a sudden kicks back in, and we can just hear it now. That was fucking insane. So it was a good shot, though, I will say. Credit where credit is due. The scene where he's killing this guy was badass. I did enjoy it. I like that. I like the visual of it.
He was very sloppy. Did you notice that? Like, stalking him?
By the way.
Do what?
Yeah. I just got the meme you sent of Michael on the back of this fucking bike, and it's hilarious, dude. I told you. That's fucking.
I swear, if that would have happened, I would have
hilarious. Oh my God.
I would have been done.
That had to be what was happening, because how the fuck was Michael getting around?
Hey, bro, can I ride on your bike?
Hey, dog. Let me piggyback you, bro. Come on.
Oh God, it's Jesus.
So that shit happens. Then Michael shows up and kills the nurse, the slutty nurse in this movie. And Corey's like straight up getting off to Michael killing this bitch. It's insane. So after that, he calls Allison, doing that weird creeper whispery voice, saying they should get out of town. She's like, I can't get out of town. I have to stay. It's where everything is, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh my God. So she has an argument with Laurie, because Laurie's like, hey, Corey's a piece of shit. I don't like him. He's scary. He's stalking people. Like, do not do this shit. Like, let's fucking go. She was like, fucking leave him alone. And then Allison's like, I love him. You can't make me stop talking to him. So she fucking literally hits Corey up and is like, hey, I'm ready to leave tonight. Let's go. So that's pretty much what happens with that, because all of a sudden Allison's 14 instead of being a grown-ass woman now. So whatever. And then Sin. Hear me out.
Yeah.
This part of the film pissed me off so fucking bad that I wanted to cut the movie off. Do you remember this movie well? Do you remember it well?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. This next scene that I'm going to describe, I can't explain. Like, my head hurts right now thinking about it because I'm so angry. Corey goes back to the sewer, beats Michael's ass, and takes his mask and runs him. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. What? Yeah. He just fucking he goes in there and he wrestles Michael, like, straight up wrestles Michael.
Like, how can you forget that part? That part was...
Dog, I was fucking livid, dude.
Honestly, like, I
literally already paused the movie, looked over to my fiance, and I said...
Already watching at this point, I was like, what are we doing? Like, nothing is making sense to me. And then when that happened, I was like, oh, God. This is a complete shit show right now. Like, what the fuck are we... Like, what is this?
I was so mad. I was so mad at what I was seeing. It didn't make any fucking sense to me. So with that being said, he takes the mask and he just becomes Michael all of a sudden. And I already hate when other characters wear Michael's mask. That really fucking bothers me, just in general. I hate seeing that. Like Dr. Sartain in the first one, when he put Michael's mask on, that was my least favorite part of the entire film. Anyway, Corey pretty much goes on a killing spree and kills everybody that slighted him in the movie. He goes to kill his bullies. He kills his stepdad, who was actually the coolest character in the entire fucking movie. He kills his well, he doesn't kill his stepdad. His stepdad gets killed because he's trying to protect Corey, and it really sucks because he, like I said, I really liked him. Then Corey kills his fucking mom. He kills a fucking DJ that pissed him off earlier in the movie. It's fucking insane. And then he goes to Lori's house to kill Lori. And if you've seen the trailers, this scene is in the trailers, and it really fucking sucks that it was in the trailers because it would have been the best scene in the entire movie had it not been ruined by the goddamn trailer. But it's the scene where you see somebody who's clearly not Michael because he has all his fingers going into Lori's house to kill her. And then when he opens the door, she's standing there with a gun. So that happens. But before we even get there, Lori's like drinking again because Allison's gone and blah, blah, blah. Calls the cops and says, "I like to report a suicide." And they set it up where you think Lori's going to fucking kill herself. And
But you know better if you watch the
she's not gonna
trailers because you
fucking
know
kill
that's not
herself.
going to happen yet.
Yeah. I was like, that's fucking bullshit. She's not, and even without the trailer, I was like, they're not gonna have Lori fucking try to kill herself.
You're not going to let her
after
survive
all of the
40 plus
bullshit
years
that-
and do all this for her to commit suicide. Like, there's no.
Yeah,
No.
I wasn't fucking buying that shit. So anyway, Lori as Michael Lori shoots herself off camera, right off screen, but we know she didn't shoot herself. She just shot a fucking jack-o'-lantern because the guts of it splurted on the wall. And Corey walks in and she was like, "Did you really think I'd kill myself?" And then she just pops him twice in the chest. Bop, bop, with the gun, dude, immediately. And then Corey falls and he's like fucking breathing all hard. Like, he's like looking like a little bitch. And then he takes his mask off because there can only be one Michael, right? And then she's like, "Yeah, you thought you were going to come in here and fucking kill me, little bitch? I told you, you fucked up." And I was like, hell yeah, this is finally Lori that we wanted to see. So she fucking, she shoots her house, 2 shots in the house to make it look like it really was her trying to protect herself. So she doesn't get just arrested for murdering this kid. And they hear Allison showing up to the house. And Corey was like, "I told you, if I can't have her, no one can." So he fucking impales his throat on this knife. For some reason, Lori pulls the knife out of his neck right when Allison's walking in. So now Allison's like, "Oh my God, you killed him. You don't want me to be happy. You," whatever the fuck she says, because it's all stupid. And I was like, do you not see the fucking Michael Myers mask right next to his dead ass? Are you kidding me? Allison, you're a fucking idiot. What happened? So all of that shit happens. She fucking runs off again. And then she gets another call later on from, what's his name? Deputy Hawkins or whatever, Frank. She gets a call from him saying, "Hey, where's your grandmother? She called in a suicide." So she's like going back home to see if Lori killed herself. While that's happening, Lori is in her house, like reeling from what just happened, and then realizes that somebody's in her house. And we know who it is, and Lori knows who it is. So Lori gets up and gets right back into fucking Sarah Connor mode. Michael shows up, picks up his mask. Corey tries to stop him because he springs back to life for one last scare, because that's what people do in these movies. Michael caresses his fucking face like a scorned lover, and then breaks his fucking neck. Because he's like, there can only be one me, motherfucker, and it ain't you. So he breaks his neck, puts the mask on, or he already has the mask on, sorry, and then he goes to go kill Lori. They have their epic fight, which isn't really all that epic.
No.
It's just more her stabbing him and him throwing her around. Like, Michael totally could have stabbed the shit out of Lori a couple times, but instead of doing that, he just literally...
We lose you?
And she impales him with an island. What's up?
Oh, you kind of cut out for a minute. We lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that he throws her around like it's an episode of Smallville. she stabs through his hand that's already fucked up, that has two fingers on it, and impales him on a table. Then she stabs his other hand on a table. Then she fucking throws the refrigerator on him so he can't move. And then uh, Allison shows up. And once Allison shows up, Michael just rips the knife out of rips his hand through the knife and everything, starts choking the fucking shit out of Lori. And then Allison breaks his arm, which is insane. And then Lori gives him another speech because she just gives speeches now, then slices his neck open. And then both of them together slit both of his wrists and just watch him bleed out. And that's essentially the end of this movie. And then after that, the cops show up, and the entire town of Haddonfield bands together and watches the execution of this fucker, and they throw him into an industrial like grinder essentially, and they grind his fucking body up into little pieces. And then Allison leaves Haddonfield for good, and she's got a smile on her face because now we're watching a Lifetime movie. And Lori finishes writing her book and then rekindles her relationship with fucking Deputy Hawkins, and that's the end of the movie. And it was a piece of fucking dog shit. It was absolute boo-boo shoes. I just can't with this.
Worse
movie.
than Kills? Which one's better, Kills or this one?
A good question, my dude. Because yesterday I said Kills was better. But I don't know, because the whole subplot with the mob
is awful.
Kills I really fucking hate. Evil Dies Tonight and all that.
They shit on the last two movies of this series, in my opinion. 2018 was so good, and then it literally just went all downhill. Like, there was times in this movie, like, little subtle things, like, during Michael and Lori's fight, she grabs, like, a knitting needle and tries to stab him again like she did in the original Halloween, and he blocks it. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, because I said, oh, they're going back to the original. And she also hides in a closet again.
Like, there's cool throwbacks, but there's so much stuff that I'm like, literally, the characters did not progress from kills to ends. Kind of like you said, Lori, Allison have regressed to just being like, oh, it's okay. Allison's a complete moron now. She's like a naive moron that's just like, I love this guy, tunnel vision. Lori's over here making pies and writing books, and she's not in war mode anymore. When, like you said, he just, in the last movie, killed your daughter and is out there free. He has been in captivity all those years when you were training. Now he's out in the world, and you're like, oh, I've made peace. Like, what? That just does not make sense. There's yeah. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I've seen people say you either love it or you hate it. There's no gray. I, as a fan of it, do not like what they did. It's weird. They went the Thorn route, I guess, with the weird evil possession infection thing. Dude, I don't know. And he's barely in the movie. Michael literally isn't in the first, 40 minutes?
Michael is... They did to Michael what they did to Lori in the last one. Like, you remember how Lori was in the hospital pretty much all of the last movie?
Yeah.
That's essentially what they did to Michael. He only shows up really for like 2 scenes. He shows up for the scene where they killed the doctor and the nurse, and then he shows up at the very end to fight Lori. But all he did was get his fucking neck and wrist slit.
Yeah.
And then they throw him in a fucking grinder or whatever, like a fucking wood chipper. I was just like, here's the thing. If I would have paid a movie ticket price to go see that movie, I would have been tempted to burn the goddamn theater down, because this was a piece of shit.
I'm so glad you've finally seen it. I feel like this was a therapeutic review of it for you. I feel like you got a lot of shit off your chest during it.
I did. What I got off my chest was, I can't fucking wait for some people who actually give a shit about Halloween and Michael Myers to remake this movie.
Oh, but you realize we'll get another Lori unless they are like, hey, Jamie, look, it's been 50 years since the original. We're going to back up a bank truck full of money for you. Be Lori again.
Here's the thing. And this, we can probably go into this more on another podcast, which we probably will. But really quick, off the top of my head, what I would do is have them fully remake Halloween,
New Laurie.
new Laurie,
Yeah.
new everything. And what I would do is a retelling essentially of the first film, and then we would just continue the trilogy from there with subtle changes, like make them brother and sister again, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Make that a part of the story. Make, like I said, a new Michael. Keep his mask and stuff, like we want that, but like still in Haddonfield, but we can do different shit with it, right? Like the first movie can take place on Halloween. That's, yeah, obviously that's what you want to happen, but like give me, it's the same shit I say about Jason, right? Like let's change it up a little bit. So after we get our first movie where it's Halloween and all the shit's going down, we don't have to keep it on the same night. We don't have to keep it on the same day.
Yeah.
We can change it. Maybe Michael shows up again 2 months later, so he's fucking murdering people on Christmas, and it's a Halloween themed Christmas film. I don't give a fuck, but wash the taste of this movie out of my mouth, please, because don't get me wrong, there was some really cool shit that happened in this film, but
there's a lot of bad shit.
The people who wrote and made this movie, this is what I would expect from a kid, like an actual child writing a movie. So what I mean by that is you get some really cool action scenes, right? You get some cool deaths. You do get Michael in the movie, but 50% of this movie is a love triangle between Corey, Allison, and essentially Michael. Like it's fucking insane. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have a place in the Halloween world. Like, why is this there? People love this shit for being different and changing shit up, and that's cool. But here's the thing, I'm a person who really does want Hollywood to like do new things, like obviously. But hear me out when I say this. If you want Hollywood to try new things, to do different shit, then support Hollywood when they do new shit, when they do try new things. Because if you take a character that people like myself love and a franchise that people like myself love, and you try to do new shit all of a sudden at the tail end of a story, at the tail end of a trilogy with that franchise, that doesn't bode well for the people who have stood by you all this time. We showed up for the shittiest movies. We showed up for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, my guy. We suffered through that piece of fucking shit. And this is what you give us? Fuck off, bro. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, how fucking dare you do this to us? That's how I felt. I felt so fucking slighted. This movie made... I think it cost them like $30 million to make this fucking movie.
33, yeah.
And it made $33 million to make this movie, and it made $104.9 million, I want to say. Here's the thing, though. The reason why Blumhouse can make movies that cheap, and I've said it before many times, they can say, all right, Jamie, all right, Andy Manichek, all right, John Carpenter, all these people that are tied to the original shit. We're going to give you this paycheck worth this amount of money. And it's not what you're worth, but it's what we're going to give you. But we're going to make you all EPs. If you're all executive producers, then you get a cut of all the proceeds for this movie. You get a cut of all the Blu-rays, the 4Ks, the ticket stubs. You get a cut of all of that shit. So that way we can pay you less so you can get a bigger payout later. And that's exactly what they're doing. David Gordon Green fucked us with this movie. He fucked us with this trilogy. And now he's about to do the same thing with The Exorcist. And I really hope that that's not the case. I really hope that The Exorcist is good, because that's a really good film. And it should be left alone. But here we are with them remaking it. And it's the same exact team that made these movies. So just keep that in mind when you go see the new Exorcist movie that's supposed to be coming out, next year or the next year, whatever. Like, I'm afraid. I'm truly afraid that it's not going to be great. So just keep that in mind, man.
Well, I'm sure maybe next episode we'll go more in depth on the movie as far as like thoughts and what could be changed and stuff like that. But that was a very emotional, anger-filled review. I've been waiting patiently for you to talk about this movie, so I'm glad we finally got to. But we're running low on time, so we're gonna cut the discussion off of it there. And like I said, I'm sure we'll go more in depth on it. Maybe what could change, what you could do, all that stuff. Maybe next episode. We'll see. We'll see what's on the agenda. But it is time to
pass the whiskey
and bring up the last call question for this week. So get your
Whiskey!
As we begin this, let's go. So I am going to do the last call question this week. I've got one for us. And it's simple. We're around Thanksgiving time. Time to eat. Time to do food. And I want to know, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Could be anything. I will start. Me personally, I am a huge advocate for deep fried turkey. It is fucking amazing. There is no qualms about it. That is the best turkey that you can get. It's so juicy and moist, and it's perfect. I love it. I've done one myself. My in-laws do one every year. It's, oh my God, it's fantastic. That's by far my favorite. Christian, what's your favorite?
So I am a huge fan of pie, and Thanksgiving is usually the time where people actually make pies because it's not really something that you get a lot of during the rest of the year. So my favorite dish definitely got to be pies, man. And if you ask me what kind of pie, I really do like cherry pie. I can't lie, I love it. Chess pie is great, cherry pie is great, pumpkin pie, sure, why not? Like, give me all the pie. That's what I want. I want to stuff my fucking belly with pie, and I want to go to bed. That's what I want to do. That's my favorite dish.
Awesome. So let us know, episode chat in Gilded or on social media, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Which one do you look forward to the most every year if you celebrate Thanksgiving? And I briefly, before, I want to kind of bring one more thing in for this last call, and it actually is on the inside, commented, I believe he's the one that asked about the entrance song. He said, I think my entrance song will take the transition from acoustic to electric in Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria. So he wanted to add what his entrance song would be. We talked about that in the previous episode, 2 episodes ago, I think. So very nice, very nice. Let's see. What else did he say? Oh, I think he also wants more Evil Dies Tonight chants. Oh, God. Okay. Timing. Of course he would, whenever we're talking about that. No, we're not doing that. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much on the inside for responding and letting us know what your theme song is. We would still like to know out there in the listening world, if you want to let us know what your theme song will be, WWE style, if you have one to go in any room or anything, then let us know. We'd love to hear. Also, if you'd like your question to be submitted in last call, be sure to join the Gilded server, gilded.gg/Sinister Pack. And in the application, put from the podcast. And then there's a whole bunch of sections. You have Apex, you have Halo, you have gaming sections for Warzone, for Overwatch. And then there's a section specifically just for the podcast for Sippin With Sin, where you can see our socials, the episode chat where you can talk about the episodes, different topics we could potentially talk about on there, suggestions for the podcast, drink, show us what you're sipping, as well as the last call question section where you can submit your question for it to be featured on an episode of the podcast. You can put it right there. There's also the Sinister Tales section where you can put personal horror stories that have happened to you or something you found on the internet that goes bump in the night that you would like us to talk about during the Sinister Tales section. You can also follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIM with Sin. Drop a follow, comment over there. You can DM us your last call question. We would love to hear from you, and we would love to feature it on an episode. Or your Sinister Tales, or answer one of the questions we've asked on here. Let us know if you've watched Halloween Ends, what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you indifferent on it? We'd love to hear it. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at IamSinister TV if Twitter continues to exist, which I'm sure it probably will. IamSinister TV. Go drop a follow, say hello. You can DM me your question if you want for last call. You can follow me streaming on Facebook Gaming, fb.gg/IamSinisterTV, twitch.tv/IamSinisterTV, and TikTok at IamSinisterTV. So come show some love over there. The Sippin With Sin podcast drops a new episode every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on Apple, Google, Spotify, Overcast, Anchor.fm, and more. 8 a.m. every Wednesday, new episode drops. Go rate it 5 stars, share it, subscribe to it, follow it, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. Continue to grow our community, grow the base, spread the word. We will love you forever. And the video version drops on my personal YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister, every Wednesday, 8 a.m. as well. You can go to that. We are like 11 subscribers away from hitting 500 subscribers. Not a huge number, but it's a start, and it's something we're trying to do by the end of the year. So go drop a sub over there. I greatly appreciate it. And hit those notifications. Comment on the video. You can do your last call question there. You can put comments there for us. We should be able to see them, and so you can reach us that way. One other bit of news: merch store. Don't forget bonfire.com. I Am Sinister, Sippin With Sin, and my personal merch is there. Go get some I Am Sippin With Sin merch over there, and post a picture. Share it with us. We would love to share it and show some love. Christian, where can the lovely folks find you?
guys can find me at Horrorverse Pod on all the socials that you follow. That's where I'll be most of the time. I'm there hanging out. Come say hi. Come ask for suggestions, and just a general chat. I'm there all the time.
And don't forget new episodes every Tuesday for Horrorverse. Go rate, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Go show it love. Tuesdays, Horrorverse Pod. Wednesdays, Sippin With Sin. Back-to-back days. All the love. Show the podcast love. And that's it. I'm out of beverage. I'm parched. And you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Christian, it's time to shut this thing down until next week.
Thank you guys for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping with Sin. Be sure to leave a 5-star review, smash that like button, and leave your comments and the recommendations in the comment section below. But above all, guys, I'm going to leave you with 3 words, and you know these 3 words. Say it with me. Here we go. Don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.